Yo, 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 what's good, world? It's your boy Rob, Gio. Real talk, real views, episode 45. Y'all been with us for a minute. Nigga, I'm talking episodes, man. 45
Jordan.
episodes, Joe. Man, I'm debating, Joe, when do I want to get season two, started where I could say, okay, this episode is season two. Let me know when the start of season two is. But I was thinking maybe I should wait till
Normally, normally it kind of goes by episode. So after the 20th episode or whatever, the 25th, kind of switch. But
like a Netflix series.
mm.
Yeah. I see what you mean. I thought it'd be different podcasts, but we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that shit later, man.
Yeah, but that's TV shows.
Yeah, man. But everybody, I hope y'all having a great weekend. Me and Joe, we were talking before we got on, and we have some very, very, very good content for tonight. But first and foremost, me and Joe, we were talking about the first we were talking about fear, but Joe said it's not fear. It's more like just basically there's somebody that I know. I don't know if he's gonna hear this episode, but if he does, he can talk to me. Who wants to basically elevate himself and his family to get up to the next level. And mind you, he's not the only person that I know that have done this. Where they sought out advice.
Mm-hmm.
The person that they asked the advice to, believe it or not, they've been preparing themselves, waiting to be a vessel and be somebody that can give good, authentic advice and not from a place where they want something in return. That's usually the best advice. That's usually when you get your ears ready to listen because you want to be receptive to that wisdom that this person's about to give you because they've already been through it. Like they just really legitimately want to see you win. So anyway, homeboy of mine's, he's basically telling me, yo, I'm tired of making this whack ass money that I'm making at this job at the bank. And I'm like, all right, dog, like, yo, what are you gonna do? Here's something that I did. I got tired of being under that, yo, let me get a job. I'm like, fuck it, let me get my CDL. I get my CDL. I'm at minimum making $50,000 a year. That's way better than working at a warehouse. That's way better than picking at fucking Amazon, better than working at a grocery store. That literally puts you in a position where you can at least have your own place, Joe. A one-bedroom apartment, a fucking, maybe a house to rent. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I was trying to tell this.
But then doesn't that challenge you and basically saying of that person still has a job because you got to look at it, right? You're working, you're doing the whole truck thing, right?
Yeah.
You're in the truck. You got your CDL. You have your truck. You're driving your truck around. Are you owning that truck? Are you starting your own distribution? Is that what we're talking about, or is it just
that's
with you? And
long term.
I'm saying that's that. So you're talking about getting your own distribution, pretty much. Okay.
It's your experience because
so you're doing the stepping stone. That's
what I'm doing. And me and this guy, we talked about that, and we were potentially about to be business partners because I showed him a light that he couldn't create for himself, for him to see. That's the thing. I learned a long time ago. Sometimes, as a man, you gotta brush your ego aside and listen to another man who might have a little bit more fruit on the tree, or like there's literally some people in your circle that have literally gone through the same shit that you've already gone through, and they already know. Like, yo, like there's somebody in your circle, he already has a kid. So guess what? If you need some help on, yo, I'm about to have a kid on the way, or jit, let me talk to my man right here. He might, yo, what did you do to put your kid to sleep? Oh, I walked around. Oh, you walked around? Yeah, man. I made sure all the lights were shut off. I'm gonna listen to that because I've never done it before. I've never done it before. And this person actually gives a fuck about me. Let me be receptive and let me listen. Let my spirit just sink in and so I can get it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, though, just to get off of this horse, he told me that he met with the instructor. They said, hey, you can start school literally the next 2 weeks. He was about to do it. But what I think he did, he went to go talk to his pregnant girlfriend about it. And she was like, no, we're not about to do this. Because basically, when you drop and you go to CDL school, Joe, you got no money coming in. Instead, you're racking up debt because you're going to school. You probably got finance because nobody has the money to just give them all the cash offhand. You're looking at $10,000, but a $10,000 investment that could make you $50,000 is better than going to college where you're paying over 100 grand a year. In some situations, in my case, because I did out of state, paying over 100 grand a year, and then your ROI is negative. Your ROI is you're sinking in the water. Nobody has picked me up. Nobody hasn't even thrown a pebble underneath the water for me to find.
For the people that don't know what ROI is,
return on investment.
Yes.
Yeah, return on investment. Yeah, my bad. Return on investment.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And so I've been negative, but like I said, Joe, ain't nobody throw a rock down in the water. I can't see nothing. I can't even see the sunrise. That's how deep I am.
You're ridiculous. So ridiculous.
I'm freezing underneath the water. Freezing. I haven't felt warmth in years. I think I went down there with a coat on, and I think the coat's gone.
Ridiculous.
I think the shark ripped it off me. Yo,
I mean, but all right. Let's for a few minutes here. Let's get a little serious here. All right, let's understand this. All right. The person that you're talking about, me and you both know who it is, obviously, but we're gonna keep their name anonymous. But his situation is a very, very interesting situation because obviously he got his girlfriend pregnant, and she's 4 months along, if I'm not mistaken, probably 4 months along, and he found out, a month ago, and now he's looking to be in a better financial suit, in a better financial state, or looking to have a better income coming in because he's about to have a child. So he's looking for different ways, different revenue streams, different things of that nature, whatever the case may be. And you brought this to his attention of the transportation industry and the distribution industry because, obviously driving a truck, transportation, what's in the truck and what's in those containers, distribution. So you're telling him at the end of the day, like, look, in the long run, you can make more money and have a better financial state if you're in here, because having a truck or having your own truck or having your own distribution in the long run, because that's what you're wanting to do, and also starting your first job there is making way more money than what you're initially making at your current job right now, which is true. So the only thing about it, and the only thing that will be difficult, is not having any income coming in for those time periods of that class. Now, it's going to be difficult because not only are you unable to pay off whatever bills you have, but your girl also has to pay her bills and yours. You know what I'm saying? That is difficult. Plus you have to save for the baby that is coming in. It's another thing. And on top of that, the training, we don't know how that training is going to go, but we know sometimes when you do train, they take you out of state. And for a month or two, you'll be out of state. So in that time frame, before the 9 months probably even came, before he finally sees that money, it's going to be too late.
No.
Because the baby's here. And you know how every girl is. You need to be there. Well, for some girls, I can't speak for all, but I know for me, I would want to be there if my girl had her and she was pregnant and she my firstborn child. I'd want to be there, and she's gonna want you to be there. So if you're stuck at your job and unable to be there at the birth of your child, that's going to be a difficult situation, and the relationship may tarnish or have some kind of difficulties throughout that whole process, and even could lead up to a tragedy as far as you guys not being together because of the whole distance and the whole situation, financial the financial stability, which is not stable. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a constant thing that could go wrong with those things. I feel like for him, he knows what it is, but right now he's unable to do it due to the fact that he's having a child on the way. So he's unable to do it. Doesn't mean he doesn't want to do it. Doesn't mean that the girlfriend doesn't want him to do it. It's just right now the time frame does not allow him to do that. To that, you say what?
So that I said, he still has to do it. I learned from like some successful.
Why? 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 Why?
I
I
learned
just
from,
told you everything. Like, why? Why you think that? Why you think
here's
that?
why I think that. You know this firsthand because you were here when my daughter was kind of like not born, but maybe a couple months after, 2 months, whatever I think that time frame was. But you saw how hard it was to basically go to work. Remember, we had to get up at 6 in the morning to drop her off to the woman that was gonna watch her. What the hell?
I
That shit
remember.
was difficult. Not only that, coming back home because it's 50-50 chance your girl gets the kid asleep by the time you get back, and most of the times they don't. They're waiting for you to come because they need a mental break because they gave up, they tapped out. You know what I mean? So here I am. You see, but ultimately, this is gonna continue off what we were saying, Joe, last week, a man's mentality. Man's mentality, you have to have financial stability established before you have a child. And to be honest with you, I wish I was a
And
little bit more educated about that when I
you're
was
not you're not lying, right? You're not lying. You make valid points. That's a valid point.
young.
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the current situation that he is in right now. We cannot go to the past. We got to
Yes,
deal with
without a
what
doubt,
he
you
has
know,
right now.
good.
What is the best solution for him currently right now? Even though he's dealing with what he's dealing with right now, what is the best situation for him?
All right, the best it what I feel like if I was him, what I would do, I would go to the school. I would go to the school. If you want money that bad, you may have to work a weekend job. There were some people
So
that were doing that. You
so
know what
let
I
me
mean?
ask you this. So let me ask you this. What about what about his car note, car insurance, cell
Mhm.
phone, and all these different things? Just the typical bills that he runs through. What about the typical bills that he has on a regular? Because I think after like maybe 3 months,
You'll have to
but
sacrifice.
after 3 months, your car getting repo. After 2 months of not paying your insurance get canceled. After a month or two of not paying your phone bill, your phone gets canceled. Now he has no communication.
No, no, no. I hear you, but like I said, he's gonna have to sacrifice some sleep. You could work something overnight. You're just gonna have to. You have to be zooted by the time you get to school.
So pretty much, okay. So the class, so you would have to find something in the morning and then work in the evening. Is that what you're saying?
There's ways around it. You just have to, because look, ultimately
Okay.
what he's doing is he's betting on himself, and he's about to get a return on investment because they already got jobs lined up for him once he gets done. For me, it took me 7 weeks. Some people, it took them 4 weeks. Some people, it takes them 3 weeks. It just depends on how fast you learn. You're
So
basically betting on
so
yourself. You're betting on
so okay. So let me ask you a question since you have experience with this. So all classes pertaining to the CDL is all morning classes. Is there anything in the afternoon, evening for people that may work in the morning?
there might be, but you have to do a lot of homework to find out. Like me, I had to choose between two programs. One starts at 6 in the morning, the other one started at 7 in the morning, and it got done at 6 in the afternoon. And the one that started at 6 got done at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But the one that started at 7, the one that I ended up going to, Roadmasters, they taught me everything. Like I learned way more. And then the people that went to the other school, Apex, apparently they don't even learn how to do logbooks and shit. So I got a little bit more educated by going to Roadmasters, and that one was 7 in the morning. So if I got off at 6, if I wanted a night job, that it's my situation. If you don't have a kid and you're not living with your girl, from basically 7 or 8, you could basically work from like 8 to 3 or 8 to 4, however you want to do it. But like I said, you're gonna sacrifice some sleep. if you still want to have this money, because I tell you what, you can't have it both. You know, it's either you give that shit 100%, and then Joe, you're gonna get a return on your investment, or you still work while you're doing it. But I promise you, it's gonna be hard to stay up, because I was watching this chick do it. She got hurt. She couldn't do well on her exams because she was working at Amazon while she was doing that. And everybody was like, "Hey, you're gonna have to quit," because literally on
It's hard.
her computer training, she was just like doing this, and the teacher was like, "Yo, why are you not awake?" But what I'm basically trying to say is that if you want your situation to fucking change and you're tired of complaining about it, you're going to have to jump. Like basically what I was telling you earlier, you gotta jump. I was scared when I did this. Yo, when the lady, this is literally how it
But
was.
you had a support, but you had a support system in your wife that helped
Mm-hmm.
you throughout your bills.
You are right
Mm.
about that. Definitely. That's why we say, hey, Joe, that's why we got to do a better job on educating our men. If you're going to have a baby, you need to be financially stable. You can't just say, yo, it feels good. You got to think about everything that comes with that. You can't tell me it just feels good. Well, did you have a plan?
Be smart, niggas. Be smart, niggas.
Be smart.
Be,
You know.
and my white men. Be
Mm-hmm.
smart. The pussy is good. It's great. It's fabulous. It's one of a kind. It has no other magic behind anything else. But guess what? There's something at the end of that tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the child.
Yeah.
And whether you don't have the money for it or not, it's coming out regardless. And that's the reality of the situation. So you
Mm-hmm.
guys have to realize that if you're not financially stable, or you're not mentally prepared, or you're not physically prepared, or you're not spiritually connected, you are unable to master or take care of that child. You need to be in a situation that allows you to take care of your child. You have to be in the right mind, the right space, the right financial part. Because let's be real, having 500 to $1,000 every 2 weeks is not gonna cut it. I'm just gonna keep it real. If you're making $2,000, if you're making $2,000 a month, $2,000, you know, that's not gonna cut it.
Nope.
Let's just keep it real. $2,000 a month ain't gonna cut it. You're
And
gonna have to get some more.
uh and so
You're
I
gonna
got
have to find some way to get some more money.
exactly. And I gotta continue off of what something you were saying, Joe. Like you can find something local. I ended up finding something local. When you're in school, they know that you're too lazy and you're not gonna go do your homework. So they're telling you all this shit, and they're thinking, okay, we got this guy. He's not gonna think for himself, so we're gonna keep thinking for him. But no. I was like, hold on, though, there gotta be something local. There gotta be something I could do. They're telling you, for you to be a successful truck driver, you got to go over the road first. You got to be a slave pretty much, going over the road, making about $900, $800, maybe 1,000,
Because because
1,500.
because you hear those things. Those are what everyone typically is doing. They're going through that route that everyone is known for hearing. No one has heard of not being able to go through that route. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a lot of ways. Like everyone, like you gotta understand, everyone knows. It's similar to like the pros. Everyone knows the people that get drafted out of college, first rounders. That's the typical shit. That's the typical thing everybody knows. But they don't know about the undrafted. They
Mm,
don't know about the G League. They don't know about getting cut 3, 4 times from the team and then finally going pro, finally make it. They don't know about that route. But that route is just as difficult as the route of getting drafted,
wow.
if not harder. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta keep faith. You gotta keep believing. You gotta keep finding different ways to make it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yo, you're right. Like I was saying, I remember when I was up there in California when they had me out in Fontana, and I remember talking to you, and I said, "Yo, bro, I found a local job." But the problem was I didn't have 3 months of experience driving. I could have got that 3 months of experience anywhere, and I could have had me a job that paid me 76,040 a year, and that was with JB Hunt. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like
Mm-hmm.
it's out there. You gotta go do your homework. And I told him, I was like, go do your homework. Look to see if there's something local in Florida. And my wife already found jobs already. Like, dog, she found like 7 jobs to pay 1,300 for.
Man, but I already told you there was a job that he could have worked for, and they wouldn't even. All you had to have is your CDL, and off bat you're making like 60 grand. And I told you about that. I was trying. Then I tried to. I know I tried to tell you about it.
About a company?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a private company. It's a private company that's in Miami, and that's what they do. Pretty much, all you need, and you know Miami, hey, you when it comes to forklift, when it comes to CDLs, if you got your license, that's all they care about. They don't care about your experience. All they care about is do you have it? Can you bring
See,
it from A to B? Kansas, they're
even
more
talk
strict
to
about it. They want stuff like that. But no, I
mhm.
no because that's the thing. The thing about that with him is he he keeps everything to himself. You gotta understand. I've been out here. I'm not gonna say like I'm not gonna say I know the streets of Miami because there's still some parts I don't know. But yo, I was before I went back into school, I was in the workforce. You gotta remember, I know you remember that. I was working my
Yeah.
ass off in Miami. I was doing what I had to do in Miami for a while. And I was working and I was in warehouses and all that stuff before I even went to school. So I've been through that. So I know. And there's different jobs and different things. Yeah, they gonna ask you, oh, do you have this? They gonna ask you for 6 months, 3 months, no experience, but the pay is 65 and up.
That's
But
not that's not
But
bad.
when you're but when you're trying to get to that higher pedigree, they're gonna look to see where you've been, obviously. But
Hmm.
Miami is always a shortcut. There's always a shortcut. There's always a little gray area that you could fence through. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
there's like I said, there's this private company that I used to work at a warehouse. Um, I forgot the name of the company, to be honest. I'm trying to think of it. I'm trying to think of it. Anyways, they did like pastries and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And they're Jewish people. And they pretty much have their own thing. They sell flour, sugar,
Hmm.
brown sugar, all these different things, all these different mixtures because they do pastries and stuff like that. And they pretty much go and deliver to Jacksonville, they deliver to Orlando, they deliver to Tampa, and they deliver only in Florida.
Oh,
Only in Florida. They don't deliver outside of Florida. They don't deliver in Georgia. Only in Florida. And those truck drivers make 65 to 70K every year.
I'm telling you, it's out.
And they were telling me when I used to work there, they were telling me to get my CDL. But you know me, I'm like what 22, 23 at the time. 23, 23, 24, 23 at the time probably. Telling me to go drive that big ass truck. Not my little ass. I'm too scared, dog. I'm not gonna do that. I barely knew how to drive a forklift. I was not about to go drive a truck. You know what I'm saying? I ain't know nothing about that, no truck like that. I was like about that. They gonna
Shit is
do it.
not hard.
But you see these guys and they they would come home the same day. They would do that every day. They were off on weekends, Monday through Friday. All they had to do was come in early in the morning, leave. If they were going to Jacksonville, you get to sleep overnight, but you had to be there before the morning. That was their only thing, because they will have the certain truck drivers will go to certain truck drivers go to Jacksonville, certain will go to Orlando, certain will go to Tampa. You know,
Hmm.
those were wherever they had those deliveries for those people, and that's where they would send them to. And the thing about it, that Jewish company only sold to Jewish pastry places that were in those cities. So that's another thing. That's another thing with Jewish people. They keep the money within the Jewish family, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And that's how those guys stay. That's how those people stay. But that's another topic for another day. That was my other topic I was going to tell you about. I just remembered about that.
Oh yeah.
That was another thing.
We'll
But
touch
that's one thing. We'll
okay.
talk about that later. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll talk about that.
Yeah, man.
But that's what they do. And the thing about it in Tampa, there would be like maybe about 20 businesses over there in Tampa, maybe 8 to 9 businesses in Orlando, and then in Jacksonville there'd be about 15 to 26 stops over there, and that's what they would do.
Right.
That's how they make their money.
That shit is crazy. And just listening to you, like that shit is out there. Like when you're searching for the light. If you already, before even searching for the light, Joe, if you already say to yourself, I'm going to find the light, it's so funny how you end up finding the light. But the thing is, if you're unsure in the beginning, you're like, I don't know. It's gonna always be I don't know. You'll never see the light. Fuck, you won't even see the little goddamn crack of the damn door if you think that damn negative. You know what I mean? Like that's like you literally have to
There's no light for that.
yeah, you have to make a decision in the beginning that I'm gonna win. You make that decision in the beginning. I'm going to win. I don't give a fuck what's coming in the way. I gotta get this shit.
I mean, but that situation, man, that's a very interesting situation. I think Junior is I said I
that lick.
that's that damn lick.
Hey.
I think he's handling it the best way he possibly can. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I think he's handling it the best way he possibly can.
But what I'm just basically trying to say out here to all my viewers, and this is why you guys got to keep following Real Talk Reviews. We really talk about some real ass shit. And I know some of you might be my homeboy that I'm talking about right now. Like you got somebody who really loves you, really cares about you. You go to them for advice, but yet you always keep fucking doing the opposite. And then you keep fucking saying to yourself, why the fuck is my life still where it's at? But the good wisdom was already given to you, but you keep fucking ignoring it. And then you want to blame everything else but you for your fucking circumstance and where the fuck you are. You have to literally take personal accountability, man. Like, listen to people. You got 2 ears for a reason. Don't just hear, y'all. Let's get the hear out and let's listen. Let it digest. Let it seep into your spirit. Because when it seeps into your spirit, now the next fucking person that needs to hear that, now you're going to be the messenger. You know what I mean? Like, that's how deep that shit is. That's how deep that shit is. Everything that I learn from somebody, I usually try to tell my brother about it or my sister about it because I'm not trying to be selfish. Because somebody gave me a message. They're like, yo, you make sure you pass that message to somebody you love. Oh shit, let me tell my brother about this. Let me tell my sister about this. Let me tell my friend about this. Like, that's how deep it is. And when people just let it go one ear out the other, you're being selfish. The person was selfless, and here you are you're like, man, fuck it. Man, they don't know what they're fucking talking about. What the fuck? That shit is coming from a loving place, yo. That's coming from a loving place, man. Like, if I already had kids, and I know what the fuck it was like, and you're somebody in my family, and I'm telling you, yo, before this kid come, you gotta have this together, that together, this together, and you're like, man, no, I'll be all right, man. I got a plan for this. You really do have a plan for this, huh? You really got a plan for this? All right. Do your fucking thing. But, just for my viewers out there, what I'm basically trying to say is sometimes we ask the world for answers and then we get it. But what we try to do is say, nah, that can't be the right answer. Now we asked for something, we got the answer, but now we want to fight the answer. We have to get out of that fucking mode. We have to realize, okay, that's the answer. Let me not fight it. And let me just do what I need to do. Let me quit fighting it. Like if somebody says, yo, you are really good at this. You really need to do this. Yo, you Robin, you should get in front of the camera more. Have you noticed your views? Your views are picking up. People like to see your face on the camera for some reason. When I noticed that shit on my TikTok account, I'm like, well, shit, I gotta get my face on the camera more. Because whenever I was posting just audio of me talking and no one saw my face for whatever reason, people weren't listening. But I'm like, I want more of the message to come across, Joe. Apparently, I'm not too bad on camera. Joe, can you believe that, Joe? And I'm scared of that shit.
They want a name to face.
That's what it is. And that's exactly what I'm trying to say. You cannot be scared. You have to be confident throughout the whole thing. But enough about this. The next topic that me and Joe we were saying we were going to touch on, the lack of black coaches in the NFL. We just saw all of the hirings. The only one minority that they got was the guy who was the defensive coordinator of the San Francisco 49ers. I don't remember that guy's name, but I don't understand how the NFL just continues to do this. And that's one of the reasons why I'm like, yo, Joe, I would love to have my own team just so I could just say, yo, I'm a fucking owner, I'm black, because you guys are not having diversity. You guys have the NFL is
It's just very interesting.
black.
It's just, it's just very interesting to see, because if you see how many players are black or minorities, it's more than, it's 3/4 of the league. Like, let's be real. Obviously, these players can play, these players could ball, these players know what they're doing, right?
Mhm.
Obviously, so let's keep that 100, right? So obviously, if these players could play, let's be real, there are some guys that know how to hell to construct and build teams, and know what players to put in, what players and what people to put them in certain offenses and certain strategic plans in certain ways in order for them to be successful, whether it's offensively, defensively, or special teams. You got to understand that it is not only Caucasians that can do this. These are not only the people that minorities that can do this. We're not just advocating only for black coaches. Let's just keep that 100. I want a lot of people to understand that. Like, I'm not only advocating for black coaches. I'm advocating for minority coaches. I'm advocating for minority business owners. I'm advocating for minority managers. I'm advocating for minority anything in those situations. We're more we're more prone to be like, oh, let's get ladies there, and things of that nature. Like, let's get women into the NFL game or into the NFL sport, which is perfectly fine. It's perfectly great. But let's be real. You guys rather have a white woman before you would have
Oh,
a
you saw that
minority
too,
woman.
right? You saw
And
that.
let's just keep that real.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep that a buck.
Yeah.
Let's just keep that a buck. If y'all gonna put a woman in, she's gonna be a white woman. She's not that 100. And there's plenty, and I'm telling you, there are plenty of African American minority women type of coaches. There's plenty of those out there. There's plenty of those out there. But let's keep it on topic right here, and let's keep it there. How can we better this? There's no possible way but saying this is, I gotta breathe first before I say this, because this might be a little offensive. We gotta get rid of these owners.
Yep.
Either get rid of the owners, find new sellers to sell them to that have an objective mind, because it doesn't make no sense that 75%, over 90 something percent is white that's looking over
Yep.
management. We're pretty much, and this is what it is, to be honest, to me, this is what it looks like. It's work just on a multi-million dollar scale. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like where I used to work at Don and Company, Don and Edwards and Company is a warehouse. That's where I used to work at. I used to work there. Used to operate forklifts and things of that nature. And if you go and you look, you will see the whole working staff, damn near the whole working staff, were all minorities. It's one white, but the rest of us are minorities. One white guy, minority.
Mm-hmm.
You go to management, you go to our super, no, you go to our supervisors, all minorities. For the tough dollars, it's starting to look a little different. White, white. But why is there so many minority people working there? See, the concept of a lot of individuals and a lot of these guys is this, right? You have to have this mental makeup and this mental mentality of understanding, like, listen, I could be an athlete, like, right? Like, be a running back, I could be a wide receiver, I could be O-line, I could be a D-line, I could be a receiver, I could be corner, whatever position you want to play in the NFL, you could be it, because it takes a physical specimen to do that. In your mind, you already have that mentality of, I'm gonna get to that spot. Why not say I'm going to get to that ownership? Why not say I'm going to get to that management? Why not say I'm going to be that accountant? Why not say I'm going to be that marketing? Say those things.
Uh-huh.
Those are equal opportunity, equal ways of getting to the same position. You have to change that mental make. Know so much about this or being very talented at this, but now I have the intellect to go out there and handle accounts receivable, Excel spreadsheets,
Uh-huh.
management, communication, talking with people, dealing with other owners. Why not have that mental makeup for us minorities? I feel like sometimes there's other there's some of us that do not want to reach that because we're so focused on playing the game and being stars, being recognized for our talents more so than our minds, than our mental makeup. You gotta understand that we can be owners, we can be managers, we can be these things. Sometimes we are undercut by these white folks, or we are undercut by some of these other individual people that do not want to. And that right there is it's very hard to overcome. But there are some folks and some people that don't even want to be in that position. Why not? Why be the star wide receiver where you could be the star owner?
Mm-hmm.
You don't see a better a better makeup of that. You don't have to ram heads with somebody for millions. Instead, you're ramming and you're going head to head, having discussions with millions, talking about how can I invest this and invest that to make more millions, rather than yo, I'm gonna see you on the field next Sunday for millions. Killing ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually on the field for what?
Yeah.
Yo, our mental makeup, our mind, our brain is so powerful that these athletes make this thing of I'm gonna get on this field, I'm gonna run these laps, and I'm gonna be in the best shape of my life in order to play this game that I love so much, which is football. Rather than being an owner and taking over a team and changing the world for minorities and allowing minority coaches, minority assistants, minority management, minority co-owners, minority vice presidents, just have a whole list of minorities going down on that team. Change the game.
Yep. You right.
Yeah, you gonna change the game on the field with all your, but how many? But if you look to see who's the league leader in those positions and those league leaders in those things, 9 out of 10 times they're black already, bro. They're black already. They done broke the record. You just breaking another record that another black man broke. What does? How does that help?
It
What does
doesn't help.
that do?
Just means that they hired another higher
Is
playing
is there any
employee.
significant? Yeah. Is there not? Is there a big? Is there a bigger significance to that? Is
Mhm.
there really?
That's why I
Because you
like
broke the
Chad Johnson.
all-time receiving record, you
Yep.
broke the all-time rushing record. What significance is really that? What is that significance? There's none. But let you be the first owner to break that and hire all management, all supervisors, everybody in their minority, everybody in their different, all types of different races. You'll change the game there.
You will. I feel like a lot of the Black Hall of Famers that are already in the Hall, they haven't done enough right there. They haven't done enough right there. All of us are all Hall of Fame players, so you now you make us feel subjected to just just riding off the horse of just riding on the horse of, oh, I'm a Hall of Famer. You gave me a gold jacket. Now I'm the man. You give me a little, I'm on the ceremony. I'm in Canton, Ohio. My name's in history, but I'm not no owner. I'm not no owner. Like for instance, my
I
like
have no, I have no percentages over the team. I have no percentage.
nope.
I have nothing. All
Look
you
at
have is just,
Dak Prescott.
is when you go to a bar and somebody sees you, they gonna give you, you might get some free food, but what else?
and that's
Nothing.
and that's it. You think about it. Like, first of all, this man should get way more recognition. This man named Fitz Pollard. Apparently, he was the very first black coach in the NFL. He was the very first. And then a man named Kenny Washington was the first guy to get drafted in the NFL by the Rams in 1949. And then from that point on, now they kept on drafting black players. But the thing is, when that happened, like they should have. The thing is, I feel it's not these guys' fault, but the guys that were getting drafted, some of them should have said, "Dog, you know what? I want to be a head coach," instead of just thinking, "No, no, no, I was only meant to be a player. With this opportunity, let me just run with this opportunity," instead of creating another opportunity, saying, "You know what? Let me
But
fucking go upstairs and
but
let me open up this door."
let me let me let me challenge you here, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a very interesting thing because you say with these players back then, right?
Yeah.
They finally got put on, and they're finally players in the NFL, and they're finally living the dream that they wanted to live. But let's understand, 1940, 1950, 1960s, early 60s. What was going on back then?
Oh yeah, you're right. Racism was horrible, man. We colored bathrooms, we couldn't go in, all of that.
Racism was at its highest, highest and finest. So that was never gonna happen. That part that you're saying right there, they those that was not gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
White folks back then, and if that were going to happen, the person that's in that chair in that position would have got killed. You seen what they did to Martin Luther King. You seen what they did to Malcolm X.
Yeah,
Let's just keep it real. Any black person that was looking to make change back then, you either don't make the change or get killed trying to do it.
yeah,
Some people really risk it. Some
yeah.
people did it.
You're right, Joe. You got a point, man. And that's, you know, why I gotta credit LeBron James because he's like, yo, I want to be an owner. Somebody who's that high, superstar, he's already thinking about the next mountaintop. Like I can't just
He
only do
needs to
it
be
as
an
a player.
owner.
He wants to be an owner. He wants to
Yeah,
be.
LeBron. No, LeBron needs to be an owner. And what he needs to be an owner for, he needs to be an owner for his own franchise. Have the whatever franchise that they decide to bring in, needs to buy it, contribute to it, and and be that helm,
Mhm.
be all time high part of the Hornets. LeBron needs to own the whole fucking team, and
Yeah.
then go from there.
Yeah, fuck this. Oh, I own 2% three. No, no, no. We need more black faces. We need more Hispanic faces. We need more Indian faces. We need more Korean faces. Like, like we just get tired of seeing the same
Or
white man
or
face
going
in every
minorities, more minorities.
shit. Like for real, man. Like, yo, it's
Same
just
white
fucking
man
getting old.
face.
It's just
Mm-hmm.
fucking getting old. And let's think about the guys right now, Joe. Anthony Flynn, he gets fired. The Chargers coach. The guys were not playing hard for the guy. And he was such a cool guy. Just why don't these players play hard for him? Is it really him? Or maybe they just don't want to play hard for him. I don't know, man. Like I don't know, dog. Some of these players, dog. I just
I
don't.
mean, you watch. No, 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 no. If you watch some of the losses that they had, they lost within single digits. So it's literally a play or two that dictated the game. There was one play that he had that he let the time expire way too much, and I think it was against the Bills. He let the time expire way too much, and they didn't have enough time to come back and win the game. But they had a chance to win had he would have properly executed and had the time adequately enough for the team to come up with W. There's just times like that. Time ran out, miscues, bad assignments, too many men on the field. That's just simple things like that. Like a lot of the games that they lost were just knick-knack paddywhack plays, like one or two plays that just bothered, and that's what happened, which is very understandable, and I understand why they probably wanted to go in a different direction, having a new quarterback, getting away from Philip Rivers, and you finally see the gem that's in there. The Dolphins, yeah, fucked up. That made me stand up just now. Yeah, fucked up Dolphins. I told y'all to get this nigga Herbert. But y'all wanted Tua. That's what y'all get. Now y'all better go get fucking Deshaun Watson. Because if y'all don't get fucking Deshaun Watson, it's gonna be a fucking wrap. I'm telling you, because Tua ain't gonna be that answer. Y'all better give it whatever Texans want. Give it. I don't give a damn what the fuck they want. Give it up.
Mm-hmm.
Give that shit the fuck up.
Tua, he's
Give
injured.
it up. Because
That's
Deshaun
one thing I
Watson,
can say about him.
he's a game changer. He is a game changer. I don't give a fuck what you say. Deshaun Watson is a game changer. Miami, whatever they ask, you give it to them.
Mm-hmm.
Give it to them. If y'all want to change that city, give them that. Deshaun Watson may want to go to the Jets. Nah. Y'all better be in that nigga ear every day. Talking about, yo, this is something special. You could do this, you could do that. And you gotta think about it, Deshaun. I'm sorry, I just kind of transitioned over. But you gotta think about it, Deshaun. You wanna go, you may want to go to the Jets. I'm hearing 49ers too, Miami. If you go to the 49ers, you know the teams you gotta deal with over there, the 49ers? Russell Wilson, Green Bay, if I'm not mistaken. Green Bay's not in there. Arizona,
Yeah.
and I'm missing one more team.
I don't know why I can't seem to think of the teams.
There's another
The
team
Chargers
there.
in the same, not the
I'm
Chargers.
trying to think of the
Rams are in
team.
that same conference. The Rams.
And the Rams. And the Rams. And the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to deal with that. And those teams right there, they were all above 500 at one point. All four of those teams. At a point. All of them, I think all of them finished either on 500 or just above 500. That division right there,
Tough.
easy.
He needs to come to Miami.
The Jets or Miami, he needs to come to Miami because defensively, we're sound as far as corners. We need to get a couple linebackers and D linemen, of course. That's fine. You can get that free agency. You bring Deshaun Watson. People are going to want to play for Deshaun Watson. Let's just keep that 100.
Mm-hmm.
That's it right there.
Straight
Let's
up.
just keep that 100. That's going to happen. The Jets, they don't really have a team yet. They don't really have they don't really have a squad yet. They're still missing and pieces are just in the makeup. Like they don't really have anything.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't got nobody yet. But Deshaun Watson, you come to Miami, you got a defense. I can tell you that much. You
Joe,
got a couple of young receivers. I can tell you that much. That
I would say, just to get back on the topic, because you said what you think that they should do about the minority coach thing. I didn't get to say mine because I just let it slip my mind. But you say that they need to get rid of owners. I think that the black players, all of them, should not play until they fix that problem. That's just me. I think that's ultimate. I think that that's detrimental because half the damn time when we watch the damn,
wow.
it's them that we want to watch, not the white players. Just being honest. Ultimate
Yeah.
fucked up saying, but that is the ultimate truth. Let them all say, fuck you guys, we ain't playing. Fix this problem right fucking now. And that owner watches his fucking money in his pockets just sink. Because ain't nobody watching the fucking games. Watch. It'll be like, damn. Like, I gotta give Tom Brady props. Another white man who extends his hand out to a black man, Antonio Brown, lets him in his fucking house when this man is having all these fucking problems off the damn field. He's the only one willing to help him. Where all the black men at? Then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, then you
That's
got
true.
Mark Cuban. Did you know
Yeah,
the
which is that that's that's
damn
that's
shame?
crazy. You speak volumes right there.
Fucking damn.
That is that is crazy. Tom Brady was the only person to really help out his hand for Antonio Brown.
A damn shame. And then not only
That
and
is
not
true.
only Tom Brady, Mark Cuban, he got Delonte West clean, figured out. He is back talking to his mom, and Delonte West has a job at the college I think he played for. It's look at him again, another white man. If we are a black community and we look out for each other, this has to make you sick. Come on, man. What the fuck? But
Yeah.
now
Yeah, it's
but
tough. It's tough.
that's what the black players need to do, Joe, to get to get these owners' attention, and then they'll be like, "Damn, these guys are serious." Yes, we are fucking serious. We're the ones that make you guys get those big fucking contracts with these networks because, like, yo, we gotta see Mahomes play. All of them, I give them all props, and I've never heard a single owner talk about the problems with these police brutalities and all the shit that Kaepernick started. I have not ever heard a single owner say a damn thing about it because they think they're hard. I've heard Mark Cuban talk about it. Like, dog, I used to hate Mark Cuban. I used to think Mark Cuban was a fucking man. You talk about respect level done changed for Mark Cuban. Changed. I don't know if you feel the same.
I really think, you know, I love Pat Riley. You know, I love Mickey Harrison. But I think Mark Cuban is the best owner in the NBA right now.
Yeah, I would say the same. This guy
like, it's hard to disagree with that. It's hard to challenge Mark Cuban. Some of the things he did, the way he take care of his players.
Oh my God.
With the whole Delonte West situation, what he did with JJ Barea. Did you know that JJ Barea is retiring this year, but Mark Cuban gave him a contract to sign for, I think it was $2 million for him to go off in the sunset. You know that he doesn't have to pay, but he retired this year, and that's the salary that he's getting for the rest of the year.
Wow.
He doesn't have to play, but that's what he's retired. That's how he paid JJ Barea. He paid him out for the time that he's been on the Mavericks.
Mark Cuban
gave him a whole $2.1 million for free. You can't. I mean, it's going to be taxed off, obviously, but you can't say nothing about that, man.
You can't like this. Shout out to him. Like, and one of the things too, as a black community, that they need to get better. If you see a white man do some good shit, you need to point that out. You need to be like, yo, there needs to be more white men like this guy. Mark Cuban, I'm talking good. Not motherfuckers like Mike Ditka, fucking Brian Urlacher, who just don't seem to give a fuck about all this shit. But that's another discussion for another day. Fuck is my respect for Brian Urlacher.
Don't talk to me about that.
I know you heard that shit too, Joe. You're like, fuck this guy. This guy's ignorant. But anyway,
don't talk to me about that.
Yeah, but you were talking to me about the show. You said that he was crying. You said that he's just basically going through it. He signed a fat contract with the Texans, and you said his voice wasn't heard because he thought management would tell him, hey, we're going to bring this guy in. What do you think? He thought there would be more communication on the back end, you know, because he's the face of the franchise as far as QBs are concerned, and he wants to have his input on the pieces he wants around him. So go ahead, Joe, and let the people know about this because, you know, this is a big problem. What I'm seeing with some players signing fat contracts, but they don't realize that the person that they're signing the contract with is the devil in front of them. And then they realize it's too late.
I mean, I don't necessarily know about that last part because you said they signed a contract and know that it's the devil. I mean, I know per se. I mean, but with that whole Texans organization and how they were ran and some of the stuff that were being said prior, even though the father had got fired from before, you got to understand it's the same family that still owns it, which means whatever he was thinking, it's probably, if not the same as that, whatever the son or the mother or the father or whoever family or whatever siblings that were in that position, that's in that ownership position is. They probably have the same thought process. So that's one. So Deshaun, by you signing that extension with the Houston Texans, and probably you were thinking of, I got my homie, what's his name that plays for Arizona, the wide receiver, Hopkins. I got my homie Hopkins. I got JJ Watt, you know, got a good defense. We're making the playoffs. That's like, you know, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever the case may be at that time. So everything's looking bright, everything's looking good, everything's looking great. You're going 11-5, 12-4, whatever your record is at that time. You're on the upcoming. So that's how he looked it at. That's how he looked it as. So you start to think and you start to analyze a lot of things, and they gave you the money to sign, and Deshaun Watson, they put a whole video of him and all that stuff, and he was crying, and the piece that was made was by a young woman that the Texans let go because they felt like she wasn't heading in the right direction for them. But she made that piece that everyone seen, and everyone loved the piece of Deshaun Watson getting millions and millions of dollars. She set that whole thing up with his family and the videos and him signing the contract and the parents and all that and all his family there in that video. And it was just very sentimental and very emotional for him. He's just crying and appreciating the organization for that because, they're showcasing the behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that you can't really there's nothing you can do about that. That man loves that, or he's gonna love and enjoy that organization. But then you fall, and then slowly letting go of a black lady here, Deshaun Deshaun Hopkins there, and then I don't know if something was said. Pretty much, I'm 110% positive that something was said to Deshaun Watson by one of those owners for him to go willy-nilly and crazy and say he wanted to trade. Some was said.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what was said, but something was said. Now we're looking at him, looking at the situation. I think the best bet for Deshaun Watson is to go to Miami.
Yeah, straight up.
Best bet is to go to Miami. It's mainly black. It's mainly black. It's players are going to want to play for you because you're making a stand. You're going to stand. You don't understand how hard that is to make a stance. When you make a stance, it's different, man. It's different. So you can do it like that, man. I think Sean Watson needs to get into that realm of getting into that position. I think it'll be best if he leaves that organization and let that organization suffer for what they are because they're not that organization.
They horrible.
It is. I 110% like they're racist, and they look down upon African and minority players. I feel like we're just workers, and that is it, and that is not right.
But look at how they're treating JJ Watt. Yo, JJ Watt is the thing is, here's how they get you, Joe, and it happens every time. They give you a lot of money, and when you sign that contract, you gave all the power to them. They'll be like, well, we gave you all this money. You see, that's their comeback. That's their rebuttal for everything. Shut up and just play. We got this over here. We gave you your money. What happens if you don't sign the contract? What happens if you're like LeBron James and say, no, 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 before I sign this, bring this guy here, bring that guy here, and then you have a deal. They need to learn from LeBron James. You have to be demanding as a player sometimes. You have to be demanding. You have to look like, hold on, this part of the puzzle ain't right. This part of the puzzle hasn't even been put together. They haven't worked on this part of the puzzle for 4 years now. No, I ain't about to sign this first. I understand the money. I understand your struggle, and you've always wanted this money, but you have to make sure that your house is blessed or peaceful, before you sign that contract. You know what I mean? Like you can't fall for the trap. You just can't fall for it. You got to be stronger because the NFL, they need to catch up. The NBA, these players are getting treated way better. Like the NFL, like these players need to just show, hold on, though, before I get this money, no, I want this. Think about how much money they make for these owners, Joe. All of this money. Fuck, we got to get to
They get, wow.
Yeah, man. We can't just look for all my viewers out there and everybody listening to Real Talk Reviews, every state, country. We appreciate all of you guys. But yo, when I'm saying, man, for everybody, just because the money looks good doesn't mean that the situation is right. Just letting you know, evaluate, evaluate, evaluate. Look through that contract. Look through that environment. Look through the person who's giving you the contract. Look through their soul. Make sure it's right. You know what I mean? But but yeah, dog, like this was definitely an impactful episode, Joe. I fucking loved it, man. I hope everybody gets something out of it. And my black players in the NFL, you guys need to really be brothers, and you guys really need to have a meeting where it's all of you guys, and you guys say, hey, we got to do something about this because these owners have been getting away with this for fucking forever. Forever, man. Shit needs to stop. Yo, man, and I'm calling all of the Hall of Famers, all the black Hall of Famers. Have you
Yeah.
guys even talked about this? Michael Irvin, Emmett Smith, Jerome Bettis, Jim Brown, Ray Lewis, Derrick Brooks. Have you guys? They just put you guys in the Hall of Fame, and you guys think it's all that, and there ain't no opportunities being created for the brothers and sisters out there. But man, but enough about that. Yo, Joe, it was amazing to hear you really went in on that topic. Definitely gonna post clips about that. If you haven't been listening to Real Talk Reviews, where the hell have you been? You are missing out. This is amazing. This is great content. Listen to this. This will change your fucking life. You know what I mean? But everybody, I hope y'all have a great weekend. Thank you for tuning in for episode 45. And Joe, what should we name this episode, Joe? Because I like it when you give the episodes a name. What should this episode be?
I have no idea. I have no idea whatsoever.
I'm going to say, man, it's our time. It's our time. It's our time. It's our time, man. Everybody, it's your time.
Sometimes.
That's it. It's our time. But everyone, y'all all have a great weekend. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.